Well, good evening, everyone. This is Laura coming to you with a short video. And I hope that today's video finds you at peace, encouraged, and healthy. In light of the pandemic called the coronavirus, I just wanted to offer a word of encouragement to my listeners. I want you to know that I'm still here and that I'm praying for each and every one of you. I'm praying for the world, everyone that's impacted by this. I'm praying for healing. I'm praying for encouragement. I'm praying that we will not be a people that are panicked, but we'll be a people that are prepared, and that we will hold on to our hope and hold on to our faith and release any fear and doubt, because we serve a great God. He's an awesome God, and that He's more than able to deliver us from this coronavirus. He's more than able to protect and to heal from this coronavirus. And so today's video is just going to be a word of encouragement, letting you know that there is a first line of defense that we can protect ourselves from this coronavirus. Because you know what? We are people, we are not panicked, but we are prepared. And so how do we do that? You know, whenever we are prepared, we're less likely to panic in any situation. And so I just wanted to go over a few guidelines that the CDC has offered. Any updates or news that I come across, I will come on and talk to you guys. But, the first line of defense that the CDC has laid out for us is your basic hand washing. Hand washing with soapy water, hot soapy water and soap, whether it's, plain soap or antibacterial soap, it doesn't matter, but frequent hand washing. And that also includes not touching your face, your eyes, your nose, or your mouth, because that is how the virus can enter. The second line of defense is disinfecting surfaces. Dr. Oz put out a video 2 days ago, and I advise you guys to go and listen to that, letting us know that this coronavirus is a virus that can live on surfaces for 9 days. This is a very long time for any virus to be able to survive on a surface. But the coronavirus can survive on surfaces for 9 whole days. And so disinfecting surfaces is so important. Hard surfaces in your kitchen, your bathroom, in your living area. Also making sure to disinfect, light switches, doorknobs, handles, things that we come in contact with or that our family comes in contact with on a daily basis. The third line of defense is staying home when sick. And I know people may say, well, that's easier said than done. But, we have a social responsibility to keep ourselves healthy. And if something should happen and we start to, exhibit symptoms and signs or show any signs of sickness, because we are so interconnected and no man is an island, and whatever affects you, whatever affects me, it will eventually affect someone else. We have a social responsibility to prevent this from spreading to someone else. The CDC has stated that this coronavirus can be very detrimental to the elderly, anyone with a compromised immune system, and the very young. And so we have a social responsibility to make sure that we're protecting ourselves, our loved ones, our family, but also the people that we meet every day, the people we come in contact with. And with this staying at home because we are sick comes what they call the isolation. Many states and cities have experienced shutdowns, quarantines. But you know what? Those of us who have survived gang stalking, we are so familiar with isolation. I mean, if we just think about it for a minute, some of us have lived in isolation for years, and we've survived, and we've made it. And so what a positive way to look at this as something that may have been used for evil, that God will take it and use it for good. That maybe our situation has purpose. Maybe it has meaning. And maybe it happened to us for such a time as this, that we can be a light and a guide to others to let them know, you know what, we've been in isolation. We've experienced it before, and this is how we made it. This is how you can make it through. Because for some people, they've never experienced isolation, and 2 weeks, a month may seem like a very long time for them. And so just to let you know that, you know, your isolation that you have felt, it has purpose. And this is the time for that purpose to be revealed. You know what? Because we are people that are prepared and not panicked. And maybe we were being prepared so that others wouldn't have to panic. The fourth thing on the list is to make sure that we have a 2-week supply of food, medicines, whether it's prescription or over-the-counter, home supplies such as toiletries, hand sanitizer, baby wipes, dish detergent, washing powder, bleach, throat lozenges, cough drops, pain medicine, cough syrup, you know, etc. You know, because we're less likely to panic if we are people that are prepared. And so we don't know how long that this coronavirus is going to last, but, you know, we need to be prepared for it. And there's a big deal regarding hand sanitizer versus soap and water. And it's all a preference, you know, personal preference. But the hand sanitizer is used, you know, for those who are not able to readily get to soap and water on a regular basis, you know, such as the cashiers in the store, you know, different employment places where people are not able to go and wash their hands as frequently as necessary. And so the hand sanitizer can be used in place of soap and water, but it does not replace it completely. We still, you know, after we leave our jobs, we need to go home and wash with soap and water. But just know that hand sanitizer is very scarce on the shelves. And so there are videos and information out there on how to make homemade hand sanitizer. And the 2 main ingredients is aloe vera and 60% alcohol. And then you can add other things to it, you know, according to your preference. But just know that that option is available. Again, with social responsibility, the CDC is stating that, you know, we shouldn't shake hands with anyone, no hugs, you know, no really touching, that we should stay an arm's length from everyone that we meet. And basically, you know, that arm's length has always been known as our personal space or our personal bubble, in which people that we're not familiar with should not violate that. But now, you know, it's coming into play that, you know, this is something that we have to do in order to contain or stop the spread of this coronavirus. And so, you know, we need to be cautious. We need to be careful. We need to be safe. We need to make sure to, you know, to put into practice the guidelines that the CDC is offering. And the CDC has their own personal page in which they update it daily with information, statistics, whatever they, you know, new information they're coming up with concerning the coronavirus. It can be found on the CDC's page for this, what they call COVID-19, which is the coronavirus. And so another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, you know, whether you're going to prefer going out with gloves and a mask. You know, that's all up to you. It's how you present yourself, how you go out into the world, you know, when faced with this pandemic or the possibility that you may come in contact with somebody with the virus. For myself, today is the first time that I went out with gloves and a mask. You know, since it has impacted our state, I have been going out with gloves on, but today is the first day that I went out with gloves and a mask. And I was in the store, and as I left the checkout, a lady told me, you know, wearing that mask is not going to prevent you from catching it. And so I just kind of chuckled and said, you know, ma'am, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And again, you know, how you present yourself to the world, you know, just be careful, exercise caution, When coming into contact with surfaces that's been touched by a lot of people, just make sure that you're exercising extreme caution. Be careful, people out there. Stay encouraged. And so when it comes to encouragement, isn't it nice when we can go to the Word of God and find a word, a rhema word, a word of encouragement for right now, for our circumstances that we're going through? And so I'm going to be reading from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 8 through 9. And this was written by Paul. Paul is one of the many writers of the Bible. But he writes, "We are hard-pressed on every side, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed." Now, those words encouraged my heart when I read them, because it lets us know, that we're not going to be crushed by whatever we're going through, that we are not going to be abandoned by God, that He's not going to allow us to be destroyed, and so that we can still have courage and we can still have faith in spite of our circumstances, in spite of the coronavirus. You can still be encouraged, because God is going to see us safely through, and He's able to heal our land. Okay? So I'm going to end the video at this point. Be safe, be cautious, be prepared, my friend, but not panicked. Stay blessed, and until we meet again, bye-bye, my friends.